All right, I'm a bit fired up this morning. Curious, yesterday I saw the mighty Alan Noble at Geelong, and I hope you got to see him too. And somewhere in Australia with his fantastic tour, Alan was extremely inspirational and moving. And I just wish so many people could see and experience what his message to the world, who he is and what he's got to offer in truly changing humanity and improving humanity. Yesterday, so if you don't know who Alan Noble is an ambassador diamond. He is my sponsor, Bobby and Jerry Martin. Their sponsor is Trish and Bob Schwankler, and Alan Noble is their sponsor. So he's like 3 generations up from me in the ASEA tree. And Alan is the founder of the Amazing Molecules team, which we're a part of, because there's teams within teams within teams, right? And he's created some really great systems over the years. That the amazingmolecules.com website has always been a great tool for prospects. It's a prospecting tool with videos and stuff like that. But I remember my very first video that I ever saw of ASEA. This is back in 2011. Sorry, September 2011. And when we bought our products and shipped them from America, we got an enrollment kit, right? Fancy that, a physical enrollment kit, because of the first few years in Australia, we didn't have a physical enrollment kit. And this thing had like a mini flip chart in it, had an audio CD and a DVD and a few, a bunch of pamphlets, and it was really cool. And the DVD had 2 videos on it. It had the product breakthrough and it had the business breakthrough video on it. And Alan was wearing a gray suit. And I didn't know any of these people for a bar of soap, right? I had no idea who they were. And there was like Trish Schwankler was on there, Alan Noble was on there, Denny Robinson was on there, a few people. I don't remember any more than that, to be honest. A lot of them I didn't know. They were before my time. And yeah, but anyway, I remember coming away from that going, wow, this is different. Like, this technology is different. But it was also about the characters that was in that video. And Alan Noble was the character that I come away from that video going, wow, when I grow up, I want to be like him. Right? So this is like 8 years ago. And the reason for that is because Alan has a way of conveying a message that is really funny, and it's engaging. It's really authentic and down to earth. And he's Reggie Didge, right? He really is on a mission to help people. And he hasn't changed. He hasn't changed in any negative way. He's only changed in a positive way, in that he's grown and evolved and become better at what he does. But he's still a funny ass Irishman that likes to take the piss out of people and have a bit of a joke around while conveying a very important message. Like, the message of ASEA to him is absolutely phenomenal. And I remember seeing him get the I Am ASEA award on stage, and I thought, I'm going to be like him. That's the award that I would like to receive. And I think they've only given it 4 or 5 times ever, and they may never give it again. But that's the award that's to embody. Excuse me for a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So back to what I was saying. So embodying the believe, belong, become ethos of ASEA. And Alan did a fantastic job of demonstrating that yesterday at the event. There were around 300 people at the event. In fact, the registration desk was so overwhelmed with people that some were slipping past, so we don't actually have exact numbers, but it is around that 300 people that came. And it was great. It was really great. But anyway, let's talk about the believe, belong, become, because that's what I really want to focus on today. This is a part of the 30-day blitz of November. So get in a good chunk of action before the end of the year. It's a great month to be out there sharing the benefits of redox molecules as Australia comes into summer. We all know that Renew 28 is like the best thing for sunburn, right? And bites and bruises and all the things that happen on summer barbecues and camping trips. So really, really great to do. And when people get more physically active and do a little, strains and sprains and things like that, really, really good to do that. In fact, yesterday we had 4 amazing testimonials, of which I'd never met any of them before the day. So I did some coaching on like how to do their story, introduce yourself, what was life like before, how did you use the molecules, how much and how long and when, and then what changed for you and how you feel about life. And there were tears and there were roaring laughter and in front of 300 people. These 4 people had never spoken to groups in public speaking before, so it's pretty nerve-wracking. But they did a fantastic job of conveying life-changing experiences, like humongous life-changing experiences. One of the ladies, her son, he was really going downhill, and she was actually a healthcare professional, and she thought the redox was rubbish. She was a total skeptic. Until she got desperate and after like a year or something, I've been told about it, tried it, and it was the only thing that got her son back. Western medicine had nothing. And yeah, amazing stories. But anyway, so and these experiences, when you put yourself in a room like that where you see these live testimonials that they haven't been coached to make up a story. This is like authentic people sharing their experiences of what the redox has done for them. And also what the business financially has done to them, because there's physical pain, there's financial pain, right? And these people just gave phenomenal stories, and that massively builds my belief when I'm around that kind of environment. Then we brought up about 10 people or so, and we did the 3 and 5 on 10 guests out of the audience that had never been in front of an audience, that had never put the redox on themselves, right? Never experienced redox. They were there to learn about redox for the first time. So we shook that. We gave them a mini tube. We shook it, did 3 and 5. We did the number 0 to 10 out of, discomfort, pain, what sort of sensation, and where the pain was and what number. And then we did 3 and 5 while Alan continued the presentation. And I come back and then we checked in with the people. Every single one of them had a reduction in pain and sensation. But a lot of them gave really interesting things like, I'm sore from here to here, but I only put it on here, and that part of the pain's gone. This part it hadn't, right? Or I can feel that it feels more relaxed, and I feel that part. One of the ladies, her hand had relaxed, and that she had decreased pain, but she also felt that she had more movement in it. So stuff like that. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and you've got to be there to see it. You've got to be in the room or watch the recording in order to like go, yeah, wow, like look how raw and authentic these experiences of people are. So the other thing was Alan was talking about he was dealing with a naturopath, and the naturopath they actually believed in the technology. They believed the product worked, but after a presentation, the naturopath came up to Alan and said, look, yeah, I think the redox is great, but I think you're all about the money, right? And Alan's response was, okay, so I get that. For a second, tell me, how many people do you think you could potentially help with this technology? And the naturopath thought about his client base, and he went, oh, okay, about 200. And Alan said, that is fantastic. That's 200 lives changed by introducing this health product to those people and help them with a health response. He said, over the last 10 years, I have helped hundreds of thousands of people. Can you say the same? And it's like, okay, do products move people, or do people move product? Right. And I think it's really important for all of us to be aware that if you're only selling the redox as a health product, that's great. You're going to help a lot of people and change people's lives. But if you actually offer them the financial opportunity as well, because someone who's doing ASEA as a business is actually going to talk to more people, because that's what the business is. It's talking to a lot of people. It's not trying to convince people. It's just trying to find the people that want what we've got. But someone who's doing the business is going to talk to a lot more people. And therefore, they're going to get the redox in the hands of a lot more people and do a lot more good for people's health than a person that purely focuses on the health product. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that like a crazy paradigm? But it's totally true. It's totally true. Someone who spends 1 hour a day on their business and, contacts 10 people a day or 5 people a day consistently is actually going to move a lot more product and help the world be a healthier place by focusing on their ASEA business. So it's really interesting when you start to get these perception shifts you can really you feel a lot more belief and conviction about what we do. Another cool thing that Alan shared was that he always wears ASEA stuff, right? And I always wear ASEA stuff, and I can't help it. I just love it. But it's not a marketing exercise. Branding is not a marketing exercise. We're all independent distributors and independent business owners. We don't really want people to go and Google ASEA. That's kind of the worst thing that can happen for us in our, not really, but it's one of the bad things that can happen for us in our business. We teach them about ASEA, we make them aware about ASEA, they go and Google it, right? They see all the crap on the internet about it, because Google's a search engine, not a research engine, right? It's full of propaganda and lies, right? But then even if they do like it, they go and buy it off someone else or whatever. That's terrible for my business. I don't think anyone has ever bought off me because I've been wearing some ASEA swag, some ASEA like hats and stuff, right? But why do I wear it? And Alan said the same thing. He's like, because I love it. And he said, because he's proud of the company. I wear it because I love the company. I love everything about the ASEA life. The ASEA life is freedom. It's purpose. It's making a difference. It's prosperity. It is health, but it's health way more than just physical health. It's spiritual health. It's emotional health. It's mental health. It is fantastic, the life that you can live living in ASEA life. And that's why I wear the stuff, because I love it. Right? So that's the kind of belief, when you get to that point of believing and loving what you do and conviction, and you go out in the world and you talk to people about it, people naturally want to be a part of that. People are like, hey, this is something different. This is interesting. Let's go and have a look at that, right? So that actually creates attraction, which is really cool. Another really interesting thing that happened was Alan and Mel both talked about being veterans in the network marketing industry, right? They've been, I think between three of them there was about 100 years of experience of network marketing between three of the leaders, Bart and Alan and Mel Sword, right? And they were saying about how this is a once of a lifetime. Like ASEA is a unicorn when it comes to the network marketing space, not just because of the breakthrough technology. Yes, that's a massive advantage, but even more than that, because of the founders and the integrity that they have and the integrity that the corporation has as making this a legacy business for you and I. They could have sold out to the pharmaceutical companies right at the beginning, got their cash payout and put their feet up and said, we're done, we don't need to work ever again, because that was a huge amount of money. But due to a handful of people, only a small amount of people getting extraordinary results that were told they had to go off the product in order to get that big payout, our founders, they turned the money down. They had integrity to make this available for every human being on the planet. That's the goal, for ASEA to be available around the globe, right? And there's two breakthroughs. There's the product breakthrough, which we're all needing because we're all getting older and everyone's getting sicker, right? Australia, highest rate of cancer, highest rate of allergies in the world. It's insane. Autoimmune is going through the roof. It's like every time I talk to a group of people, there's someone with some bizarre new autoimmune disease, right? And 5G is coming. And 5G is going to be horrific on the human DNA and the human health. Horrific. You need every advantage you can to combat the stress of 5G on your body. All right? Redox is a very, very good place to start. And the other breakthrough is the business. Because working 9 to 5 for someone else, you're never going to get rich. You're going to build someone else's empire and you're never going to have freedom. And I love this. What Clay Stevens taught me was, instead of asking our young people today, what do you want to be when you grow up? And getting them in the mindset of a certain type of career, which has an income bracket, a lower and an upper income bracket, and it's fixed. You don't really get above that income bracket, not unless you build a business. But as an employee in a career, your income doesn't really change, right? It's only through becoming an entrepreneur and being a business owner and having leverage and duplication and understanding these concepts and putting them into play, can you ever get true financial freedom, true residual income, true choice about what you do with your time. As long as you have a career, as long as you work for someone else, you will never have that. You will always be a modern slavery. That income bracket will determine the type of car you have, the type of house you live in, the type of groceries you buy, the holidays you go. You know, that's confronting. And for me, one of my highest values is freedom for myself and other people. And that's the breakthrough with this type of business, is that we build freedom for people. What an amazing thing to give people. Yeah. So it was an amazing day. And when it comes to believe, belong, become, there were just so many different concepts that were covered yesterday. And I'm sure Alan covered them in his whole tour of Australia. And he was in Thailand and he was all over. He didn't come home from Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii, Alan was there and Alan continued to tour. And I think yesterday was his last event. Maybe he's going to Malaysia. I don't know, but he's finally going home. You know, it's like, what a trooper. Now, this is a guy, he's been in that $1 Million Earners Club for quite a long time. He does not need to be doing a city every day presentation for the money, right? He does not need to do that, but he does it because he loves ASEA. He loves the movement of ASEA. He believes in it. He belongs to the ASEA family. You know, I love that Mel Sword said he referred to Glenn Martin as a cross-line cousin. It's like, that's a great way to think of it. Our cross-line cousins, right? And the end, Alan has become the I Am ASEA Award. He's become a true, he is an ambassador, but an ambassador in the sense of the word of helping the world learn about this extraordinary company and what we've got to offer. So believe, belong, become, it's way more than just a byline. It's a process and it can be a practice. And I would encourage you to practice believing, belonging, becoming. Believe in yourself is a big one, right? Really doing the personal development growth to believe in yourself that you can do this, because you can. You've got fantastic advantages to do this and you can do it. And belong to the amazing family of ASEA and become the person you are meant to be. That's what the Shine Bright team's all about, is get rid of your fears and be your best. Tap into your greatest potential and your light and shine bright. Shine bright, people, because the world needs it. The world desperately needs your genius, and everyone has a zone of genius. Get the help you need in the areas you're not good at. Focus on the areas you're really good at. Get in the flow. Be consistent. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Anyone can do that. Attitude doesn't cost you anything. Attitude's a choice. Okay? And it's with the attitude and the mindset that you can do this. So I hope that's helpful today. Obviously, I'm fired up after Alan. I wish you all the very best. And yep, check in, plug in if you need help. Thanks for whoever is viewing this morning, and for whoever reviews. This is a part of you actively believing, belonging, becoming, whether that's going to an event, reading a book, you know, reaching out to a downline just to check in, just to do some coaching, mentoring, see how they're going. You know, how are you increasing your belief? How are you increasing your belonging? And how are you increasing your becoming? Okay, this is an essential part of our daily activity to be our best selves so that we can be the most successful and prosperous and fulfilling the mission that we're all a part of. Have a wonderful week. We'll check in tomorrow. And tomorrow night, we've got Redox Talks. We've got training tomorrow night. Go out there, make a big difference this November in your 30-day blitz. And I look forward to seeing you soon at the next event. Bye for now.